Hi, welcome to the Watchers. Kevin just got me through an entire technical saga where I am
Yeah,
nobody. I am nobody right now, enraged, using my laptop on top of
listen,
my computer.
we're gonna make it work regardless. The devil's a liar, man.
Well, hi, I'm Victoria with Killer Shark Films. You're welcome to the Watchers. Kevin, introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Kevin Marable from theblackscript.com.
So today we're going to talk about Nobody 2.
Yes,
Nobody 2.
Nobody 2. If you watch the first Nobody, you'll definitely love Nobody 2.
It's a sequel, yeah. And
Mhm.
I saw it streaming. Did you see it in the theaters or did you see it streaming?
No, I saw it streaming as well.
Yeah. It's out
You
now
know,
on Prime. You can pay for it. I read that it will eventually be available where you don't have to pay for it. But when we decided to talk about it, I was like, let's do it. Let's pay the money. I love to support films, so I'm fine to do that.
but yeah, it stars Bob Odenkirk, Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son.
Hmm.
It also stars
Sharon Stone
Sharon Stone.
as the final boss.
Yes, for sure. And I actually have
Connie
some other
Nielsen.
names.
Connie Nielsen is
Yes.
his wife.
Hmm.
This is going to have spoilers, so prepare yourself or pause and come back after you've watched it. So, Nobody 2 picks up much like this, like the first one, with him being questions about who he is. Hutch is battered and bruised, sitting next to a beautiful dog. I wasn't sure if that dog was real. I was like, is that AI?
It did kind of look AI-ish a little
Right?
bit
The
too.
fur is hard. That's why I thought
Right.
it was AI. And then
Yeah.
you know, it's that same question of who are you? And and
Hmm.
in a nutshell, it's a story about the assassin, Hutch, trying
Yes.
desperately to go on vacation with his family and keep his
Hmm.
word to his wife, which you understand this. When wives
Right.
want happy wife, happy life, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So he's trying to keep a promise to his wife and take the family on vacation.
Hmm.
And when he is offered his next gig, his the person who is hiring him out chuckles at this premise of him going on vacation and taking a break from kicking ass and taking names by saying
Hmm.
it's your nature,
Yeah.
right? Everywhere you go, there you are, which I love,
There you are.
right?
Yes.
And he's determined, right? And he goes on vacation with his family, and calamity ensues, chaos
Yeah.
ensues,
Right off the bat.
bloodshed and battery and limb loss and okay. But that's sort of the premise of it. But I have to say,
Hmm.
it really did get down to the point of, can you get away from who you are? Can you get away from your nature?
Hmm.
Right? And whoever's in love with you, whoever chooses to walk beside you in life, has to
Can they
either
handle
accept that
it? Hmm.
or not. Right. And I
Hmm.
think that was the story. What did you take away from the premise? What did you feel like the premise of the story was?
I mean, I definitely took those same points away for sure. It's also about the work life balance.
Mm.
Making your wife and your family happy, and sometimes when you obviously he wants to retire, he wants to get away from assassinhood.
Does
but
he
but
though? Does
well,
he?
I think to a point he does.
Mhm.
I think he's at that stage to where he wants to live the family man life, and be at home with his wife and make his wife happy.
Yes.
And so doing this vacation is a way for him to be able to get away and not think about the assassin life, and totally focus on his family.
I think that is lovely,
Hmm.
but I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true. I think, um, well, okay. So the movie starts with him. The one thing that was so beautiful about this is how they chose to edit the fight scenes, right?
Oh,
Very
yeah,
John Wick, very like,
I was gonna say that.
right?
Yeah.
John Wick, very
Right.
Guy Ritchie, felt very Guy
Hmm.
Ritchie, and staccato and punchy, and sometimes they had a shutter speed difference, and
Right.
it was just delicious, right?
Right. It was great to watch.
Yes, it was great to
Yeah.
watch. And he's on this you know, pre-mission in the first act, and just just doing stuff, just
Mhm.
like, you know, I mean, it was insane the way that they shot these fight scenes and choreographed these fight scenes.
Right,
Um,
right.
and what I really loved is that they always um, challenged your expectations about what was
Hmm.
going to happen, right? It always took it to the nth degree. It always, it did, like there's another fight that we see much later in the movie where I thought, oh, he's just going to hit him with the pole. No, he stuck the pole in his eyeball.
Yeah.
Like it
No.
was always like he always ramped it up, like with these fights. And what I liked is when they played with time a little bit, when he was talking to the actor that I love, that actor, the British guy. Do you know who he was? The black guy?
Oh, no. You talking about in the very beginning?
Yeah, who was like who
His
ran the
boss?
organization, his boss.
Right. Yeah, I don't know his name.
Okay, we'll have to look it up, and we'll flash his photo and his name.
Yeah.
He comes back and he's giving him the lowdown about how the gig went, and he's like, he
Mhm.
didn't use the word escalate this time, but he was like, so you kept things calm, he was, and
Right.
right,
Yes.
and he's like, yeah, and it's like,
And then it
oh, he
flashes to
did
the fight
it,
scenes.
right.
Right.
I think that this is like some sort of like allegory for like addiction to things, and
Hmm.
even when he had the little um playing cards on his wrist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a line where he says, "I keep," like he almost walks away. He cannot
But he can't.
not
Right.
do it,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And
Right.
I think that that's really a healthier personality, much like yours, I imagine, feels that he wants to be on vacation, and so he will be. He
Hmm.
wants to be on vacation. If he did not want to be in that chaos, he would have left.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's, I don't want to get lost in the story. You want to continue telling the story? I will actually try to look up some of the actors' names. I'm realizing.
I actually I have the actors'
Okay,
names:
tell me.
Bob Odenkirk,
Mm-hmm.
Connie Nielsen, Colin Hanks,
Mm-hmm.
the RZA, Christopher Lloyd,
Yes.
Sharon Stone,
Mm-hmm.
and John Ortiz.
Okay. Those were the top people.
Yes, those are the main characters
Okay.
for the most part. Yes, yeah. Christopher Lloyd was
Was Grandpa.
he plays the grandpa, and he always has the stogie, ex-military. Yeah, I don't know the mob boss's name. That didn't come up for
Was
me.
he part of the mob?
Well, he's basically I called him the mob boss, but he's basically Hutch's boss. And the reason why Hutch has to continue to do this is because he's in debt. So he's paying off his debt slowly but surely, and so he has to go on
Wait,
these
how much
missions.
was the money? It was like 30 million?
30 million,
Yeah.
I want to say.
And if you
Yeah,
remember, he burnt the money the last time,
right.
right? And again, let me bring it back to the point. If one does not want to be in mess, one does not make mess. So when he's with the other pile of money by the
Yes.
lunatics du
Hmm.
jour, you don't then burn the money.
Right. Right.
Right.
One thing I did like about before a lot of these fight scenes happen,
Mm-hmm.
you see him calmly want to de-escalate and
Yes.
walk away.
Yes.
But as he leaves the screen,
Can't do it.
something calls him right
You know
back.
what that something's called? Impulse control. You know what that
Right.
something's called? Maybe a little bit of an addiction to chaos,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You
And then
know,
he proceeds to kick ass the entire time.
Colin
And
Salmon is the name. He's called the barber. That's what he's called in
the
this.
barber,
The
the
barber.
barber.
Um,
Yes.
and the barber is the one that says, "Okay, go on." I loved that.
He said good luck.
Good luck with that. You know what I mean? It's like, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is not going to be just the same. This is a little different."
No. No.
You know?
I feel like they ramped this up for the second movie
Yes.
there was a lot more action in this than I was anticipating. I didn't know where it was going to go, being that they were going to be on vacation, but that leads to a whole new setting, whole new scene
Yeah.
of things that they can use as fight scenes and
Right.
weapons. and distractions and diversions. It was
Yeah, and he brings the thing that the file or whatever back to the boss, the barber, when he's home, and he tells his wife, "I'll make a plan. I promise I will make a plan." Right?
yes, yes,
And I sort of felt like it was an interesting choice that when he made the argument to go back to this sort of like theme park that he went when he was a kid, right? The only place, the only time he ever felt happy. But how was he reminded of that? He was reminded of that when he moved the dead body over.
right. And it's a sticker that's
Right, right,
plastered on a card that's covered in blood.
right. I was like, you know, um, I thought that was funny. You know what I mean? That sort of reminded me of Raising Arizona when
Hmm.
when the character remembers to get the diapers because of the shootout, and he just like scoops them up off the ground at the last minute. It
Right.
was like, he got rid of the itch that he needed to scratch with the fist fight and all that, and then he was like, oh
Hmm.
right, planning a vacation, right? So
Yep.
he packs up his family. I like how they set up the family too. That family felt real, right? Like I loved Connie
Right.
Nielsen. I liked the kids. I
Hmm.
liked that you didn't know whether the kid had gotten into a fight or was punched or what the story was with that.
Right.
And I love the
Yeah.
payoff of that whole thing. I listen,
And his son has a little bit of it in him
he's got
too.
a little bit of game in him, right? And I
Yeah.
kind of liked that though. I
Yeah.
appreciated, because listen, who wants to be wimpy, right? I don't know.
Right.
You kind of like you get your ire up and you want to be able to be the tough guy. I mean, most people walk away, right? Because most people don't
Right.
want to get into fights and fist fights and all that stuff. And I think this satisfied that urge to
Hmm.
be the instigator or the retaliator or the person that fights back. And
Right.
the movie really did the job of making him attempt to not engage, right? Like, so when
Hmm.
he takes his family and they're on the little trip and he's having the memory, and Colin Hanks' character is like, "What are you looking at?" Typical, like, sort of like sheriff jerk,
Right.
right? And he's
With that haircut.
with that haircut. I mean, and
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that, but
it was funny, right? Because he was just staring off having a fantasy with him and his brother about him and his
mhm.
brother, and already he's in the crap,
Right.
right?
Right.
A person who wasn't thrill addicted would have just said, "Oh no, nothing, sorry, officer," or "Sorry, sheriff," and sort of walked away, right? But
Right.
he's just like eyeballing him, right? Like, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Like, he
Right.
wasn't quite that sassy about it, but he was not. He's not a passive
No,
B
he's very
personality. He's
serious.
very, you know,
Mhm.
don't
Very
want none,
serious,
don't
straight to the
want none,
point.
don't want to get any or whatever. Don't
Mhm.
start nothing, won't be nothing kind of personality, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They both gave the very alpha male energy, but they were both calm at the same time,
Yeah,
and neither one wanted to let up.
no. And somebody, and so like, so he takes his son and his family to the arcade. Like,
Mhm.
honestly, the second my husband would have taken me into the tiki room,
Oh yeah, that tiki room.
I'm like, bet, can we go somewhere? like,
Yeah. That tiki room was something else
like
where that I don't see where you can get the romance.
I was just like, I don't know about that bed bug scenario. Like, I'm just like, we out. I'm sorry. Is it
Mhm.
okay? Um, but they make her really charming because all she really wants to do is be with her family. That's a very charming.
Right.
She just keeps accepting the ridiculousness of this place, and
Mhm.
she's just supporting him, and
Because it's outside of his norm.
it's
I mean,
outside of his right.
he keeps promising, and she doesn't believe it.
Yeah,
And then when he finally comes across this, she said, "Oh, you actually planned something."
right. With that was the
And
bottle of wine, right?
right,
I thought she was going to find a gun.
right.
I did. I was like, oh,
And
here's
what did you bring with you?
yeah, in the black bag,
Yeah.
the go
Mhm.
bag, right?
Yeah.
Um, but when they go into the arcade and the son gives the young girl tickets, and then the town bullies approach him, and he was like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, okay, Slim.
Right. Right. No, he held his own
Yeah,
for
I liked
sure.
that. I don't know. Nobody likes bullies. So, you're always going to want people to stand up to bullies. And
Yeah.
and then when Hutch jumped in, and and he tried to walk away. Why did the guy have to slap the little girl in the head?
Oh, I know. Like,
Who does that?
right. On your way out too, they were
They
walking
were
away as
walking
a family.
away.
And why do you choose to hit
Right.
the little girl?
I felt
Yeah.
that was like a script thing. I felt like they needed to give him like the most,
The reason.
the
Yes, the
most.
reason.
And I kind of
Mhm.
was like, I mean, I let it go because I was already in love with the movie, right? But
Mhm.
I thought you didn't need to do that. I know why you did it. It was like when they shot John Wick's dog. It was just like that little
Right.
extra thing that like
Right.
nobody could let go. Nobody could let somebody slap in your little dog. You have a daughter.
No,
No,
it's
it's not
war.
happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's war.
Right.
And you not walking away.
It's not happening. It's not.
You're not walking away. I'm tearing that arcade
It's
up.
up. It's getting ripped up. And I think, was that the scene when he went in and we didn't go in with him, or
That was
so,
later. Yeah.
right? That was
We saw that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It wasn't.
and then of course the wife is upset, and I don't know why she didn't. I don't know why she would like. I would have defended my husband, quite frankly, if he, in
Yeah.
this situation. But
Yeah.
the son and him are in the holding pen, right?
Hmm.
Now here was my one question. He was like, "Get out!" Right after he meets I guess the second tier boss, the guy
Hmm.
who was the father, right? And him and the sheriff have a weird dynamic,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Get out of the town." I didn't quite understand why they didn't just leave.
He still wanted to make his family happy.
Or
And
or
or
he was like, "We're about to tussle."
wherever there's chaos,
Right.
there you are.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I didn't like it because of that, but I just thought it's an interesting choice.
But he's not one to run from a fight. So
Or he runs
that's
towards the fight.
right. And so that's the whole reason behind
Right.
staying.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to let that scare them off. And, even though the family was a little shaken up, they weren't ready to leave either.
Do you think
You
that's
know,
true?
well, they went into the next day nothing ever happened.
Yeah. And it moved so quickly that I didn't even like think about it,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was
It literally went into the very next day like nothing ever happened. I think the very next day was
was the
when
boat?
they wanted to do the duck boat. Hmm.
Right. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Not quite the duck boat you were thinking.
No. Well, okay, so I just went on vacation, and I was on like one of those ride. It wasn't a duck boat.
Right.
It was
Like
a
a booze cruise.
no, it was a boat around a historical town that you could like take
Oh, okay.
photographs, right? And
Nice.
so,
Yeah.
there are some people like sitting in the front. The
Hmm.
older people are sitting in the front. People with cameras are like hanging off the boats, right? And that,
Right.
and
Yeah.
but nobody was wearing headphones. So
No.
I kind of thought
But
that was a little bit of a nonsensical thing. But all right, all right. I'm forgiving
yeah.
all at this point because I'm loving the movie. You know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
like it was funny. That fight was funny, right? Like that, and what made that fight good, then I'm going to stop talking for a minute and let you talk. Was when he was like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah. When they said I thought this was going to be easy,
Right.
And once they finally got him off the boat, they thought it was over. And then before you know it, the hand comes
With the
back up.
bloody finger, with the bloody finger.
Right. Yes.
That was another. I cut my finger cutting an avocado. I couldn't use
Mm.
my hand for weeks.
Mm. Listen,
I was
it
like,
was it was his pinky. What do you do? It was his pinky.
that fight on the boat
No, it was good.
was
It
good.
was good. And the whole while the elderly couple is right there in the
Right,
front
right.
soaking it all
taking
in, not
it in
even paying
and
attention.
the fauna, the flora,
Right,
just enjoying, like, and the kid is like talking his talk, and
right.
and there is a all out brawl going on, and
Hmm.
it did any of them get killed? I don't think so.
No, no.
Um, but he was jacking them up, and when they first were like, "I don't, who is this guy? We want more money," um, and
Well, what was funny is when they all got on the duck boat.
they sat down and they took.
Yes, and everybody but one was regular. Then they got the one guy that acts the toughest. He's got the life vest on.
It was so funny.
It's like, come on, man. If you can't, you're on here to fight, but you can't swim.
Yeah. Oh, wait, is that what you thought? You thought he couldn't swim?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
no, you can't
funny.
swim. That's why he's got the life
Oh,
vest
that's
on.
funny. I
Everybody
didn't
else,
get that. Oh my God. No, I thought that was really funny. And
there's like a lot of hidden humor in watching it.
yeah,
There's a lot of action. Of course, there's a lot of blood and whatnot, but there's comedy throughout, and you can't help but to root for Hutch the entire time, Hutch and the family the entire time,
yeah,
as they're trying to enjoy their family vacation, but they keep being bothered by these people that are out to get Hutch.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think that, again, had they left, they would have,
Right. Then none of this would have ever happened.
right?
But he would have gone right back to doing what he was doing at home,
Or
coming
maybe
home
they
late.
could drive to Florida and go to Disneyland.
It's
No?
not the same. No, it's not the same.
No?
That's part of the humor is you had to go to an amusement park that was his childhood
He,
memory.
he had to go there.
And the amusement park is this rundown, rinky-dink
Right.
amusement park where nothing was working the first
That
day.
was so funny. Yeah.
So they had to get hot dogs.
Yeah. Well, was it not working, or was it being used by some nefarious group? Because,
True.
right, we
True.
don't really know.
They didn't tell us.
They didn't
Yeah.
tell us. It was funny because then I think that's when he called. That's when Colin's character Abel, I think it's Sheriff Abel, I think that was his name, called called the big boss.
Right.
Right? Is that when was that when he called her? Making that
It
up?
was, and that's the big boss is Sharon Stone.
What did you think of that performance?
First of all, I didn't know she was going to be in the
Yeah,
movie,
neither did
so
I.
I was pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
to see that Sharon Stone made an appearance. Well, not only made an
She
appearance,
was, yeah.
but
She was the final boss. She was the boss.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, and she wreaked havoc from the time they showed her in the casino
Yeah.
and moving around.
That's right. I forgot about that scene where she is like, her intro was like
Yeah.
Kaiser Sose meets, Tony Montana.
Right.
It was like this combination, frenetic, crazy, sociopathic.
She had those little knives on her fingers.
It's fantastic. The chrome
Yeah.
nail polish was fabulous, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, diabolical. She was ruthless, and they set up so perfectly verbally, but then showed it.
Right.
Because when she caught the cheaters, like you think about Casino, when they caught the cheaters, you can either run or whatever, they pop the eye,
Right.
whatever, she was like, burn it all, scorch the
Yeah.
earth, no witnesses. Like, she not only killed the cheaters,
Yep.
she killed everybody who saw her kill the cheaters. So you were like, okay.
She said, nobody cheats in my casino.
Right. And nobody sees what I do to the cheaters that cheat in my casino. I was like, okay, that we've set her up, right? And and I really liked that she felt really wicked, and she wasn't like couching that. She was, a lot of times, sometimes the women will play like some sort of sweet note with their bad guy character, which can work, but no, she was just diabolical.
She played it. Yeah, she played it to a T for sure.
It was crazy. So then, is that when he called the barber, right, to find out? Am I forgetting something?
He definitely called the barber back, but I don't remember what that conversation was.
So he said, "Who are these people? What is this place?"
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He calls his brother to say he's having like like, I'm at this place that we went to the one time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
the brother's like, okay, blah blah. They have that little conversation. Didn't make a huge
Right.
impression on me. I knew that why they were doing it, but
Yeah.
but then when he called the barber and he was like, what is going on here? And it was like drugs, money, art. It was just like a hub.
Yeah, it was the usual,
Yeah,
it's like there he goes again. He's always
yeah,
finding himself in trouble,
yeah. And he was like, I'm not helping you. You're
Right.
on your own.
You're on your own. You chose to go on this vacation. I
Oh,
told
no,
you.
no, no, we're wrong. We forgot something. He called him the first time and said, and then he told him, first he told him, excuse me, de-escalate it.
Mm,
De-escalate it, but you're on your own, right? Because that was the
right.
key, right?
Right.
De-escalate it, right? And he then went to the warehouse, right?
Right. Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
he went to the warehouse. And meanwhile, Sharon Stone is like, I think the guy who ran the what was the name of the place?
Plummerville.
Plummerville.
That's it. Plummerville.
And he said he's forgetting who he works for, right? But
Hmm.
Bob had that great scene with him about like, they had that interaction where he was like, you broke my son's hand. Remember, he like, you broke my son's
Yeah.
hand, um, and he was like, listen, he flicked my daughter's head. What would you
Right.
do? And
Exactly.
he was like, get out of here, right?
Yeah.
Which was
Yeah.
a different turn for a bad guy, right?
But he knew at that point there's no real way to answer that. He had to. You can see in his eyes that he could agree with
Yeah.
Hutch,
Yeah.
why Hutch was doing what he was doing.
Right. Sharon Stone says, take his son. Well, no, she says, take something he values, and then they take his son. So
Right.
when Hutch shows up, his choice to de escalate.
Oh, as I'm about to blow this sucker up. There's no de-escalation. And every time they say to leave, walk away, or de-escalate, everything heightens one step further.
He does the opposite.
Yeah. But throughout the movie, it just
Right.
goes higher and higher.
And again, they do something very cool by he's about to leave and then he sees the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, and I loved this scene because I loved that they just stayed outside, right?
Yes.
They
So what he drives off,
drives out of the frame,
and then he
and
backs
then he
up.
backs up, and then he goes in. This was beautiful. Like, you
Yes.
heard it. What are you doing? Are you one guy gets thrown out of the door. As the guy gets thrown out of the door, a blood splatter lands on the door.
I
Right?
know.
It was beautiful.
And you can see the bullet. You see the bullets come
Yes.
through the.
And here was my favorite part. They did a match cut to black from outside to the van.
Yes. Yes. The transition, I guess, from the
was
van
beautiful.
to the barrel. Yes. That was great.
That was great.
That was great because I wasn't expecting
I
that.
wasn't
I thought
either.
they were gonna. I thought the camera was just gonna continue to pan and maybe get closer to the building.
Or I thought it was gonna just stay outside and he was gonna burst out with the kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh damn it, that was really good.
Yeah.
And then he was just killing people.
Some really good action sequences, even the ones that you really couldn't see and you had to use your imagination.
Yeah. And I thought that the fight choreo was great. Mm-hmm. The fight choreo was fantastic. The pacing was fantastic. That movie was a tight 130, right? It was just tight. I was like looking at the acts. I was like, ooh, 18 minutes, right at the half hour. Now I was like, every time I could feel the sort of act change, I was like, look at this time.
Right. There's really no dull moments.
No, it was so crisp. And then he sends his family away, right? Mm-hmm. He enlists his father. He gets the kid. He goes back to drunk, guy who is, antlers are getting thrown at him. Like, he's like, I have your son. He's okay,
Right.
Which I thought was funny. It was fun. And I liked that they teamed up. And here again, you got this idea of, he's trying so hard to be something other than he is.
Right.
And
it's just not working.
It's not working. And also what I liked is like when when the father finally comes into the story and his brother shows up, and even you know, he was like, I don't want this place, but let's burn it to the ground. This was my
Right.
father's nightmare. There was just such a question of like, there was such an idea around letting go of things and accepting things, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
like, when his father said, you are a better version of me, you are both a better version of me, and your son will be a better version of you. And the story proved that out at the end when the guy was like, "Don't kill me," and he didn't kill him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and then the last act was just scorched earth.
Oh, that. Yeah. But that was great. It was like watching Rambo in the woods, but in an amusement park.
Right? In a water park, in an old water park.
It was great. Like all the booby traps, all
Hmm.
of the, the hidden weapons, and you know, running around and getting all of the, I don't know if what are they? What would they be considered? Goons or assassins as well on Sharon Stone's
Oh, when
side?
she was gearing up, right?
Yes, where she sent out
Yeah.
all her minions to come after them, and one by one they were
Yes.
taken out.
And I loved when that one assassin showed up at the house, and we had the samurai fight, honey.
Oh yes, yes,
Samurai fight. I was like, okay, Kill Bill. Now we are in a Quentin movie. Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And I adored that effect. And I guess I would have to hear from like an effects artist or something like that. But I loved that when he when he sliced
Oh, you
a
can hear him.
gun. No, when he sliced the gun in half.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, with the katana blade.
I was like, oh my God, that is so fun. And then cut his head.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
And then wiped the blood off with it.
That's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, leave it up to the RZA to always add some martial arts,
Yeah.
and some Wu Tang in there
He was
for
great.
sure.
He was good. He
Yeah,
could have been in the movie more. I could have had him.
I agree.
Yeah.
I really do think that if they make a third,
He's got to be in
it
it
should,
more. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I get why there was just not enough time and enough, like they really, there isn't really something that I go, they could have cut this because
Yeah,
everything
the
informs
setting.
everything.
Not only that, the main setting didn't fit for him to
Yeah.
be in the film that much.
So I liked that scene, and I liked when the grandfather had again, had it was a Breaking Bad reference, with that gun to me,
Yes,
which I thought was a cute nod to Breaking Bad. Um, when the grandfather's, he gets his moment of like shooting off the
yeah,
guns, and
the Gatling gun.
yeah, and I loved when the wife was like, "You got this," to the son,
Hmm.
and that was like her moment of accepting who she's married to. This is,
Right,
you know, and they set that moment up right when she was like shooting the little balloons or whatever she was shooting.
right,
This is
right.
right.
To show that how good of a
She
marksman
was a
she
good
was.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So so then and then a Kill Bill reference when he's fighting the two women, right? Those like sort of like assassin girls. That reminded me of Kill
Oh
Bill
yeah,
too. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. There's so many callbacks to different movies or different sayings in this film that it was just great.
Yeah. So I thought that when she showed up
Mhm.
and uh and kills Sharon Stone's character, that was fantastic. And with the
Yeah,
bullet and the bullet shooting I'm sorry, the tranquilizer shooting the knife, right?
right.
It was a nice touch. And but I
Mhm.
thought, is that going to kill her? But then of course it was like,
It was like a slow death,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. But then she
yeah,
got burned up when they blew up the whole thing,
right.
right? And I loved that kiss underwater, even though it didn't look like the pool. I still
Right.
liked it. Like I still
Yeah.
thought that it worked.
Hmm.
Um,
To show the love.
the
The
coming
love was
together,
still there.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
And then we got the end with the right. Am I forgetting anything?
No, I mean that's pretty much it for the most part. You can almost see how the writer tied it all
Yeah, it
together
was beautiful.
and made it full circle. Yeah.
And I thought that it was nice when at the end it's like, "Who are you?" Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like we're married,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
We're married, right?
We're married.
And then right, during the credits, they
Yeah,
showed
I love
the
those.
whole family vacation,
Hmm.
all the photos. That was
Yeah,
dope.
that
I
was
like
cute.
that.
And I liked the dog. I mean, the dog didn't have a lot to do, but the dog,
No,
it didn't leave
the
the guy
dog was caged
fatted,
up.
huh?
Yeah, the dog was caged up at first.
Yeah, the
And
wolf, right? The wolf.
right,
But
right.
the he did that one thing where he like barked to let him know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Saved his life because, in
showed
a
him
way,
love.
yeah, he showed him love by letting him go, by releasing him.
Yeah, it was
So, the dog is loyal.
fast. Took
Hmm.
me a week to
Hmm.
get my dog to do what I. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
So
So I mean,
no,
like I guess it's like you can't quit who you are, right?
no,
And you have to accept who you love for who they are,
right, and all their faults,
even if you lose a
and
finger in the process.
right.
He never got that finger. He never caught the fish.
Oh no, yeah, that fish came and got it in seconds. That was fish food.
That was disgusting. It was so bloody.
Yeah, yeah, but it was good. I mean, because as you see it drop in the water, you're like, oh, is he gonna get it? Is he
Yeah,
gonna catch it?
yeah.
And it was clever of them to think like, nope, make it to where a fish comes up and eats it right away.
It was good. So
So
you liked it as much as I did. Yes.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I just as much as I enjoyed the first one. Watching the first one, I don't remember. I don't. It was like 1 or 2 years ago when the first one came out. It might have been longer than that, but when I watched it and then I saw Nobody Two was available, I said, "Oh, I definitely got to watch the second one because I really enjoyed the first one." Um, and it's one of those movies where I thought that when we press play, you throw logic out the window
Yeah.
and you just enjoy it for what it is. But watching it, there's parts where you laugh. There's a lot of action. Um, it To your point, it reminds me of like a comedic older John Wick.
Right. I'm like these between him and Liam Neeson, these
Yes.
old guys are kicking ass.
Yeah. Well, there's another movie that tried to do the same thing in the same vein as Nobody and Nobody 2, which is Novocaine. I never got a chance to watch
Hmm.
Novocaine, but it's about a guy who I think he ends up getting some sort of shot through some sort of scuffle or something like that,
Okay.
and it gets to the point to where he can't feel anything. He can't feel
Oh,
pain,
I'm looking it up right
and
here.
so he goes around and he's kicking ass and all types of fight scenes and whatnot, and he can't feel a thing because of whatever he
Oh,
was
it's
stuck
Jack
with.
Quaid.
Yeah, yeah. And this movie came out, I want to say maybe like a year ago, but I never got a chance to watch it. I only know this based off the trailer.
Came out
So
in
maybe,
March. It came out in March.
oh, in March.
Yeah,
Okay. It seemed like so long ago,
it is.
but it's in the same vein as Nobody and Nobody Two. Um,
Interesting.
so that might be a good movie to watch. I really don't know because I never got a chance to watch it. But
Okay.
Novocaine is another one. If you guys like these movies, like
Yeah,
Nobody Two, or some of the Liam Neeson movies, you'll definitely like Novocaine. I'm assuming.
definitely. Well, I'm going to put it on my list.
Okay.
I
Well,
will.
maybe we should watch it and talk
Okay,
about
let's
it.
do that. Let's watch it,
Yeah.
and then we could sort of like. That's a good premise because
Hmm.
even though
Hmm.
they don't ever talk about whether or not Hutch can feel, he doesn't seem to feel
No, it's almost like he enjoys it. And
like an
even
addict.
though you get hit a million and one times, you
Right.
get your head slammed up
He
against the wall. It's only like nicks and cuts and
never. Like, I mean,
yeah,
John
that's
Wick is
it.
limping. John Wick seems like he's in pain. I mean, the last one we think he died. I'm hearing
Right,
right.
right.
Spoiler. uh,
Or did
or did he? Right? Yeah.
right.
So I don't know. I that's interesting that you bring that up. That the idea of
Yeah.
like whether or not it's all right. That's our homework.
I think this movie is watchable. Nobody Two. And
Completely watchable.
if you haven't watched either one, Nobody or Nobody Two, definitely check it out from Nobody and then watch the second
I don't
one.
even think you need to see nobody. to see nobody.
No, I mean they both
They
can,
stand alone.
work. They stand alone. They both can work alone. If you want to just watch Nobody 2,
Yeah.
you will thoroughly enjoy it for what it is. But to get a little more of the backstory, if you watch Nobody 1, you'll understand where Nobody 2 starts off and or picks up,
Yeah.
and then it gets crazy from there. But both movies are great. And if you're interested in watching Novocaine, you can watch Novocaine, and then you can come back and watch the episode where we talk about Novocaine.
Absolutely. If I can get my
And
computer to work.
right, but I say this film is watchable.
I say it's watchable too. That's a W.
Yeah,
It gets a W. It gets a win.
definitely gets a
I just
W.
made that up. I think that works.
No, I like that though. I like that though. So, Nobody 2.
I'll see you
If you
next
get
time.
a chance to watch it, it's on streaming. I don't know when it's going to hit streaming platforms for you to watch, without paying for it on video on demand. But
It's worth a
definitely, if you get a
rental.
chance,
It's worth a rental.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's worth it as well.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll see you soon.
All right, take care.
Bye. Bye, guys.